Welcome, everyone. I'm Donna Whittington. I am so excited. This is 5 Minutes with Donna. I have a very special guest with me tonight. I'm very excited because I have Slim Man. Slim Man, I want to say you're in the house, but I remember last time I said that. So Slim Man is basically, he's here with me. We're going to talk. I'm going to talk to Slim Man. You guys are going to enjoy our conversation, and we're going to have a great time. Slim Man!
Hey there.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, you doing well?
Doing well.
What's been going on in your life?
Oh, just, trying to keep things under control here at Slim's Shady Trailer Park. That's it. You know,
How do you do that, Slim?
I gotta get up in the morning, feed the goats, and do all that kind of stuff.
Keeping it real, right?
Yeah.
Right on, right on. So you and I met, the beautiful thing about Facebook, it lets you know when you meet people. So we met, I guess, sometime back in 2011.
Yeah.
And you, of course, doing your thing, you're this wonderful musician, very talented. You've got amazing vocals. I don't know if you'll share any of that with us tonight. Um, but you were actually on my Color of Jazz show.
I
Got to talk to
remember.
you about that and your music. So tell us where your music has evolved and kind of tell us a little bit about you, Slim Man.
How has the music evolved since 2011?
Well, not so much. Well, how about that's when you and I met, but how has your music evolved from when you kind of got started
You know,
and where
it,
you are now?
I guess the sound of it is a little bit different. That's just because with each album, I like to, switch around producers and players and styles and that kind of stuff. But it's pretty much the same kind of music. The production has, changed a bit. But I mean, it's pretty much the same style of music that I've started with. It's just a kind of a combination of jazz and soul and pop, and how you produce it and the people you have playing that kind of music has changed, but it's been pretty much the same style.
Nice, but your style, it's a very smooth, very silky and soulful. Your vocals are. Are you laughing at me? It's true.
Thank you.
You've got amazing voice.
Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome. Can you sing a little something for us?
Yeah.
Yay!
Once upon a time, you dressed so fine, you threw the bump to dime in your prime, didn't you? Me like that?
I love it. Okay, give us another voice. Give us something else.
Okay, here's this though. Here's a song I've been working on.
Okay.
How could I forget time and place where we first met? I saw your eyes shining like the sun. Maybe it's too soon with these words. Lay my heart out on your sleeve. The chance I'm gonna take. The first time that we danced, you took my hand. It felt so heavenly. The open road, four signs like road, far as I can see. As far as I can see. That's a
Very
lot of people
nice.
got over at your house.
I know there's a whole audience here.
Nice.
Very nice. Now, you're working on new music, but you've got a bit of a little cookbook. Probably not a little cookbook, but a great cookbook that you're working on. Tell us about that.
It's like 52 recipes that I've created, 52 funny, crazy stories about the adventures of Slim Man, and it's also got some music in there. So recipes, stories, and music, and that's what I've been working on for the last 6 months or so.
Nice, nice. Is there a
Yeah.
favorite recipe in there for you?
Pardon?
Favorite recipe that you just
You
love?
know, right now, my favorite recipe, I just kind of came up with it a couple of weeks ago, is my Slim Manicotti.
Mm.
Uh, It's a manicotti dish, but I've never been really crazy about all the ricotta cheese and all that cheese and cheese and cheese. So I created my own manicotti recipe. It's a spicy scallop and shrimp and a tomato sauce, and the manicotti, I cut them in half and stick them up like this and stuff them like chimneys, and it's pretty good. That's my favorite.
Nice, very nice. So now, I'm vegan. You got any?
Yeah,
You got any vegan?
yeah. There's a recipe for a tomato sauce. I think it's got tomatoes in it, and that's it. That's for all the vegans.
All righty, thanks, Slim
No,
Man.
no, no. I mean, what is vegan? It's no cheese, no
No
dairy,
cheese.
no
It's
nothing.
no animal products, period. So,
You can have a tomato sauce, and that's about it. Wait a second. There's a aglio e olio sauce, which is a garlic and oil sauce for whatever you want to put it on.
you know what?
I guess
I,
there are a couple of vegan recipes.
okay, salads.
Yeah, there's a caprese salad, but it's got mozzarella cheese. So yeah, I know.
Okay, but you know what? Just so you know, there are nut cheeses out there that you could sub. I guess that I would have to substitute for your recipes.
Yeah,
You should try it.
yeah,
Okay, so you want to briefly tell us about this and where we can get it?
yeah. You go to slimman.com, and that's Sweet 16. It's a best of Slim.
Yes.
I sent out an email to the 4 or 5 people that are on my email list, and they sent me back the list of their favorite songs. I put them all in one CD. The original recordings, the original masters, and that's the Sweet 16. It's got 16 songs on it. Actually, it has 70 because there's a bonus track. But that's why it's called Sweet 16. There's 16 songs with one bonus track. I guess it makes it 17.
Very
If my
nice.
addition is correct.
Very nice. All right, folks. Get this from Slim Man, slimman.com. All right, Slim, are you ready for
Right?
the questions, the really fun parts?
Yeah.
You ready? Here we go. Let's do it. Now, here's how this works. I'm going to ask you some questions, and first thing that comes to your mind, just give it to us. You can only pass twice.
Pass twice.
If you don't like my question, you can pass it, but you only
Oh,
get 2 passes.
okay.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Um, Prince Jackson.
Okay, I knew it.
I guess that's a good one. I've always loved Michael. Michael Jackson.
All right. What are you reading right now?
Um, a
Cookbook?
biography of Dean Martin.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
That's a show ticket.
Ah, Dino.
Yeah,
And how is it so far?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the greatest writing in the world, but the subject matter is something that I really enjoy.
Right. Something very close to you, no doubt. Alrighty, structure or spontaneity?
Structure or spontaneity? Structured spontaneity.
Oh my God. You're
No,
gonna run all these together? The hell?
I like structure, but I mean, but with music, I mean, you have to have structure, but you have to be spontaneous too. You know what I mean? It's kind of that's a tough question. It's like the either or. I want both.
You know what? I think it's a name for a song,
Yeah,
right?
structured spontaneity.
There we go. Okay. Favorite place you lived?
Favorite place I've lived. Um, there was an apartment that I lived in years ago in Baltimore that was I just loved it. It was this old mansion that was owned by this 100-year-old woman, and it had three like old bowling alleys off to the side that were built in the 30s.
Wow.
It had this little teeny four-burner stove. It had like two grass tennis courts out back. It was really funky and really cool. I mean, it wasn't glamorous or anything, but I really liked living there.
Nice. Very nice. All right. What would you take on a deserted island?
Uh, what would I take? I'd probably take a guitar and a can of Sterno.
There you go. Spam. Okay.
It's kind
Boxers?
of, kind of hard to take a piano.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
Okay. Day or night?
Um, you know, I like night.
Okay. Beach or lake?
Ah, man. I guess the beach.
Nice. Favorite song?
Favorite song. Uh, wow. Sheesh, there are so many to choose from. I would guess YMCA by the Village People. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
No,
How about
sheesh. I don't, favorite song. Ain't That a Kick in the Head is a good one. Dean
okay.
Martin.
Very nice. Hey, give us a few lines of that.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
I love it. I love it. You're awesome. Favorite smell?
Favorite smell? Oh, yeah. Garlic frying in olive oil.
Okay.
That's the
Air
Italian potpourri.
there you go. Airplane or road trip?
Road trip. Road trip, yeah. I really enjoy driving. I do.
I do too. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Do you have any like coffee drinks, Italian coffee drinks or anything in your cookbook?
I used to drink espresso like five, six, seven, eight espressos, and I've cut back, and now I just drink a couple of cups. That's it.
That must have been a
Espresso is just shoo. That'll start the old heart. How to get the heart started, Donna?
hey, right? Craziest job.
Craziest job? You mean like job like concert I've done? Because I've never really had a job.
Okay. Okay. Craziest concert.
Well, my craziest job would be when, you know, a, a friend of mine asked me to organize country music talent contests that were sponsored by Marlboro, and that was the craziest job I guess I've done. I wasn't performing, but I was organizing and emceeing country music talent contests, and that was crazy, going to all these honky-tonk hellholes all across the southern United States. That was crazy.
Wow. Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel?
Um, I guess Jimmy Kimmel. Who are they?
Late night host.
I actually haven't seen either of those shows.
Serious?
I
Oh,
don't know.
you
I
know
don't
what?
have television.
It's funny. Every now and then you can YouTube
You know,
either
I know
one.
who they are. I mean, I've seen clips and stuff, but I don't think I've ever
Like
watched this.
sat down. Yeah, I hear you. I kind of when I see him, it's usually on YouTube after the fact. So, are you a PC or are you a Mac?
Oh, I'm a Mac. Um, my mom's second husband was like Mac man from the very first Mac, and whenever he went to all the conferences, and he's just totally immersed in the Apple world. So whenever he would buy a new computer, he'd give me his old one. So I just kind of that's the only computer I've ever used.
Okay,
Mac.
Mac man. All right. Are you, Matrix or the Terminator?
Um, Exterminator. Oh, I guess Terminator.
All right. Your biggest pet peeve?
Pet peeve. Um, waste, wasting time, wasting resources, wasting food. You know,
Yeah.
waste is a big thing. Wasting time is just if I have to stand in line, I won't go wherever it is I'm going. Yeah, wasting time, wasting food, wasting anything, energy. Yeah.
All right. So, if you're in the grocery store and you have some things, there's a long line, you're like, I'm out.
No, in the grocery store, you're really, you're sitting there with your basket full. You can't just like leave the basket right there and say, okay, folks, I can't take this. I'll see you guys later.
Hashtag I can't, right? I can't. All right. Okay. How about, oh, I know this is a little corny, but what's your sign?
What's my sign? I'm a cap. I'm a
You're
uh,
Capricorn?
yeah.
Nice.
Born
Good
on
for
the
you.
same day as Sade.
Right on. Right on. Bungee jumping or ski diving? Skydiving.
Ski, skydiving. I like ski diving better.
I think that's probably more painful.
I
Skydiving.
guess skydiving. I guess. Yeah.
Oh, here's a no-brainer. French or Italian?
Ah, Italian.
House or apartment?
What else you got, Donna? Give me a question.
Hot or cold?
Oh, some like it hot. Some like it hot.
And you like it?
I like it hot.
I like it hot. There you go. Me too. Your 20s or your 40s? And I'm making a big assumption there.
I guess the 40s.
40s is good. 40s is good. Okay. Here's one. Here's one of my favorite questions. If I were a genie and I could grant you three wishes, what three wishes would you want?
Um, what three wishes would I want? Do you want like the Miss Universe pageant? Peace on earth, goodwill towards men, and tomato sauce for the whole world. Those are my,
Are
those are
those
my
your three wishes?
yeah, peace, love, and pasta. That's
Okay. That's good. That's good. Your biggest fear?
biggest fear. Being caught naked in public.
New beaches are out, huh?
Never. Never happened.
That's
I
that
wear,
whole spontaneity.
I wear like a three-piece suit to the beach.
All right. Facebook or Twitter?
Oh, Facebook.
Facebook. Hey, how many languages do you speak?
How many languages? Um, I speak English fairly well. I'm pretty good at Italian. I understand French just because I took it for 6 years. I was in this early program when I was a kid, so I took French for 6, 7 years maybe.
Okay,
And
awesome.
then I know Spanish, like like piso mojado, like the signs you see like on the floors, like when they're mopping the floors, it says piso mojado. I know that.
Okay, okay. So you could probably get around a little bit.
I can get around in Spanish. I lived in Puerto Rico for a year. Yeah,
Nice.
so yeah, I know a little bit. I can understand Spanish well. I don't speak it that well, but if you talk to me in Spanish, I'm pretty good at understanding what it is.
Okay, all right. What's your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday is sheesh. I like wow, holiday. July 4th is pretty good. I like that. I like Labor Day. That might be one of my favorites just because um my grandmother was involved in starting a labor union, and people forget that Labor Day was really kind of started for people who were involved in labor, and she was involved in that. And um, I used to take vacations. My uncle had a place on the beach in Ocean City, a small apartment overlooking the beach, and every Labor Day I would go down with my friends, and after Labor Day, I would go and hang out because everybody, all the kids and all the tourists are all going home. The weather was still nice, the water was still warm, and it was always the day after Labor Day that we'd go. So Labor Day.
Nice. Nice memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, I have to ask this one. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Have you ever done karaoke?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do it. Yeah. I do it all the time. I do a Slim Man karaoke show. Yeah, I have.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Nice, nice. I bet that was fun.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. What makes you smile?
Um, you know, puppies and little kids.
Hmm.
I was at the library working on the cookbook today, and I saw these 6, 7-year-old kids in the library. They've got a kids section, and that's where I usually hang out. And it's funny, they're just so full of energy, and they're so happy, and they're so open, and it's just amazing to me that here it is. It's the best time of their lives, completely carefree, and they have no idea how good and how fun it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've got kids, you know what I'm talking about. They're 6, they're 7, they're 8, they're just running and playing and learning and doing all this crazy stuff. It's the best time of their lives, and they have no idea that it's the best time of their life. I find that, yeah.
That, you know what? You really put that nicely. And what I love about kids is now that mine are much older, I can look back and really get into them being just carefree. Because before, when you're a parent, you're all uptight and don't do that, don't touch that. But now it's fun to watch them playing. And you're right, just being themselves and true to who they are
Yeah,
as being a kid.
when like in the like when I was at the library today and just watching kids, like and they got to be quiet because it is the library, and that's why I go there because it is quiet. But it's just so much fun. I mean, they're grabbing books off the shelf and reading it and reading to each other, and yeah, it's that's a joy.
It's magical. It really is.
It is, and they
It
don't know it. You know what I mean? They're not like you could sit there and say, you know what, little Johnny, little Susie, this is the best time of your life, and they go, ah, ha, ha, ha. They have, they don't have any frame of reference.
right now, right.
That's a joy. That is a joy.
That is absolutely. So, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I guess, well, I do have superpowers, so that's really not a fair question, but the ability to fly through the air and leap over buildings with a single bounce. It's one of the X-ray vision is fun. I have that, and yeah. Well, Don, I am. I mean, I'm. A lot of people think that I'm Slim Man, but I'm actually like Slim Man, like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Slim Man. I just, I'm a singer guy, but what I'm mostly doing is I'm going around the world fighting the forces of evil. So I do have superpowers, but I guess my favorite one is flying through the air.
Right on. Okay. Well, now I know because I was trying to get you, to do this earlier. Now I know you're busy, you're booked up, and saving,
Yeah, and then
doing
all of a
all
sudden it disappeared for a while. You know what I mean? It's like got to go into the phone booth, change into a superhero costume. I mean, it's kind of. I don't have my cape on right now, but yeah, I do have superpowers.
right on.
And
Well,
flying faster than a speeding bullet is my
that's
favorite.
it. That's it. I think my superpower would be convincing people. Mm,
What?
yeah,
Would be
that's
what?
would be convincing people to,
That's
so
not a
I like
superpower.
it
That's a
is a superpower. That's what?
yeah, but like none of the Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Wonder Woman, they can't convince anybody to do anything because if they did, there wouldn't be any. You know what I mean? They've, the way that they convince is by, crushing Lex Luthor. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Well, you know what? You gotta go. You gotta check out. My daughter turned me onto this. It's called Heroes, and it's on Netflix, which is kind of how I see everything way late. But so I got my superpower from there. So Heroes, and the guy who could convince people to do things, and he would look at them and he would shake his head, and I would say to you, I would say, Slim Man, you're gonna make me a vegan dish tonight, aren't you? And you'd be like, Donna.
That's not a Donna. That's not a superpower. That's more like a bewitched power. Like you wiggle your nose back and forth, and somebody becomes something else. Yeah, right. That's it.
All right. Guess I need to fly around the world. All right. What would you say to your younger self?
Uh, Stay away from crazy people. Crazy people, you just avoid them. Just blow them a kiss from a distance and
And keep
say,
it
"See you
simple.
later." Stay away from crazy people, young Slim.
There you go. That's probably a good one. That's a good one. Oh, here's one. Here's another favorite one of mine. Who would you like to hang out with for a day?
Um, I guess one of the guys I would love to hang out with Louis Armstrong.
Hmm.
I would love to find out just how the hell he did what he did
Right.
because he was just. I mean, what he did when he did it was just amazing in terms of the music business.
Yeah.
Taking that something that didn't really exist before and making that music at that time and
Yeah.
how extremely popular it was. And I've read books about him, and I just think it'd be a joy to hang out with him. He's always been my favorite.
Now, you played the trumpet before, right? Didn't you play the trumpet growing up?
I got started because my dad showed me a movie with Louis Armstrong in it called The Five Pennies, and I saw Louis Armstrong play the trumpet and sing, and I was like, "That's what I want to do."
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's your favorite dessert?
I rarely eat dessert. I really do. I guess what's the one oh when I go out with Mark Antoine, he always orders creme brulee.
Mm,
I guess that would be my favorite.
okay.
That's the one where it's like really hard on the top and you gotta crack it with a spoon. I bought him and his wife Rebecca a creme brulee thing, like a blowtorch
Yeah.
for your
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So I guess creme brulee.
Nice. How about a favorite color? Is there a color that just really speaks to you?
Yellow. I
Really?
mean, yeah, yellow. It's my favorite color. I mean, when I say, I mean, I'm like, if I'm something yellow and I'm walking down the street, my eye just goes to it. I don't know what it is. I love every morning I get up, and this I've been doing this for 100 years. I love lemons. I get up in the morning and I squeeze lemons into water and I drink.
Mhm.
I love bananas are one of my favorite things to eat in the morning. I mean, they're yellow. I love uh, like yellow walls. I have a yellow linen suit that I bought. Yeah, yellow is my yeah. It's a color that I'm drawn to. I mean, I wouldn't buy a yellow car, what I mean, because it would look too much like a taxi cab.
Right.
Uh, but I would, yeah, yellow is, yeah. If I'm walking down the street and there's something yellow, it catches my eye. I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, for a color for me, I'm black and white in terms of, you know what I mean. I like the word black or white or black. I'm just kind of that's. But as far as a color, because I forget, is it white is the presence of all color or is it the absence of all color? I forget. But either way, yellow is a color that I'm drawn to, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, that's cool. I
It,
yeah, I
yeah,
would love to know what is that. Hey, does that have like a smell for you? I mean, is there anything else associated with yellow other than, I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know what it is. But it's a color that I'm drawn to. If I have to like paint like a piece of furniture or something, I'll paint it yellow. If there's, yeah, I like it. That's one of my
yellow
favorites.
flowers?
I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't get a yellow car.
Unless it was a Ferrari, maybe a yellow
You
Ferrari. That's not
know,
exactly
I wouldn't
music.
turn down a yellow Ferrari.
Yeah,
No.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't turn on any color Ferrari. In case anyone wants to know. Hey, what's your favorite decade?
My favorite decade, the 60s, without a doubt.
Really?
When you think about the 1960s and what was going on in popular music, it was the greatest decade for popular music ever. When you think about what Dean Martin was doing, Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Motown, Hendrix, Zeppelin, Stones, Beatles, James Brown in the 60s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Without a doubt, that decade with popular music, all kinds of music, it was just like the best.
it's
It was
powerful.
without a doubt the best. I mean, and you look at the pop charts. Frank Sinatra had a number one hit. Louis Armstrong had a number one hit. The Beatles, Stones, a lot of the underground stuff. Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix did not, but it was underground. But the 60s were without a doubt the greatest decade for popular music. I mean, without a doubt. And all because it was such a wide variety. Think of what Miles Davis was doing in the 60s.
Oh, right? Yes.
You know what I mean? You think in every genre of music, it was just one of those decades. I get chills thinking about it. It's so I just find it stunning that so much great music in such a wide variety came out of that decade.
Absolutely. Lots
Yeah,
of power in that decade.
yeah. But think about what's going on politically too.
Absolutely. You
With
bet.
John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, all of the leaders that were around in that. Yeah, it was. And then you think about in the early 60s, the style was so cool. Even in the later 60s with the hippy dippy stuff was kind of cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was, but just being involved in the music business, I think just for music alone, it was just an extraordinarily amazing, diverse decade for popular music. Just unbelievable, unbelievable. You don't have that now.
No, you don't. It's, you know what? I think the music now is just too all over the place, and it's too. I hate to. It's baddish for me. It is. I'm just saying, folks. For me, it's just. Yeah.
There's no real because there's so much music out there and everybody's putting out a CD. I think it's become there is no there's nothing to really kind of hang your hat on. I mean, you kind of find these little things that kind of get in your way, and all of a sudden you'll listen to a song. But it's strange because you think about it now, people don't want to own music. Like 10, 15 years
Yeah.
ago, 10, 15 years ago, it was like, I've got 10,000 CDs. If you said that now, I've got 10,000 CDs, people would say, you're out of
What?
your mind.
Why? They say why?
You know what I mean? I've got 6,000 movies on Beta or Schmata or VHS. Nobody does that anymore. The concept of owning music or movies, it's gone.
Right.
It's gone. I was over at a friend's house a couple of weeks ago, and he had all of his music in these drawers. I mean, big, huge, sliding drawers with all these CDs, and I was looking at him like, "Are you crazy? What do you have all this stuff for?" 15 years ago, it was like, look at all this. They had like CD towers. Remember, like you would buy where you could put all your CDs and get them all organized. But it's strange. It's changed that much in that short of a period of time to where people don't own music anymore.
And they don't read. Remember how when we had an album cover, you open it up, that was like the next best to best thing to getting the music was
Yeah,
the album cover.
I know, but see, that's a good point. But there is so much information about everybody. I mean, why would you want to try and put it on a little booklet on a CD? Like these days, like anybody who types in Donna Whittington, I mean, they're going to find out some stuff that you might not want everybody to know about. You know what I mean?
Oh,
There's more information out there about everybody. It's a different world. When you that was when you bought an album or you bought a CD and you opened it up. That was your kind of your gateway to that artist, to his music, her music. That was like, oh, okay, this is what they're saying, and these are pictures of that. But now, like think about the cool photos that were photo artwork. There are so many photos now everywhere. Everybody's got a camera on their phone. There are a billion images out there. There's so much out there that it's like almost too much. There's going to be like a new movement. It's going to be like the deserted island movement, and everybody's going to go. It's not going to be deserted for long because everybody's going to go there. But
right.
people are they're overloaded. They're overloaded with images. They're overloaded with information. They're overloaded with music. It's just too much stuff out there. It's different. It's different. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, there's some really, really good music being recorded and played out there. It's just, I'm out here in Palm Springs, and this weekend is Coachella. Who are the headliners on Friday? AC/DC and Steely Dan.
Wow.
Yeah, but these aren't guys that have come out in the last 2 years. You know what I mean? It's the usual suspects.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they don't get me wrong. They do have a lot of new music and interesting music, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that's happening in electronic dance music and all that. But as far as people, I found this fascinating was that for the first time in the history of recorded music, old music is outselling new music. Now, it's not just old people buying old music. It's kids that are buying old music. Kids will go out there and buy Led Zeppelin's first album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just found it interesting that people are now buying old music more than they're buying new music for the first time in the history of recorded music. I mean, I just think that's, fascinating. And I don't know what that kind of says. I don't know if older music is better than newer music, but it's just that it's more popular now for the first time.
Well, but that's good to see. It's good to know. But I mean, do you find that it's more from the heart, more soulful? I mean, why are we going back there to get music when we have everything here?
I think because
Is it more complex?
the obvious reason is that people like it more. It's just a matter of fact. The other thing what I think that people forget that there weren't a whole lot of people making music back then. It was a small group of folks, and there was a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? There were like the major labels. If and those guys didn't let you in unless they were absolutely, completely, totally sold on you, because their investment would have to be millions and millions of dollars to make you. So in other words, people would sign somebody like Bruce Springsteen and stay with him for 10 years until they hit with Born to Run. So, you had Aretha, who was originally on Columbia, right? They sank a ton of dough trying to make her into some pop, Nat King Cole with the strings and all that. And then she gets canned. Atlantic picks her up, hooks her up with Jerry Wexler. She comes out with Respect. You know what I mean? There was a whole barrier to entry that kind of weeded out,
Yeah, absolutely.
crap. And
Maybe
there is
no
no
there too.
yeah, there is no barrier now.
Yeah.
Everybody can. I mean, and everybody can record an album and upload it to iTunes, whether it's good or bad or anything. But back in the day, it wasn't so bad to have, a half a dozen. Well, they were mostly old white guys, but they picked some pretty good music. They did. And you think about, Ahmet Ertegun, what he did with Atlantic. It was, and a lot of the music that they did wasn't, I mean, there was, credit them with, Aretha Franklin. Think about what James Brown was doing. Think about what, Berry Gordy and Motown. There were some guys that were just, placing their money. It's okay. I'm going to bet on Marvin Gaye. I'm going to bet on Stevie Wonder. I'm going to bet on the Four Tops. You know what I mean? And then they had the star making machinery to make that happen. And I thought that back then the level of entry was, it weeded out all the rest of them. You couldn't really get in, which was it wasn't such a bad thing. And now everybody gets in.
Yes.
It's
Everyone
a little
gets in, regardless. I mean, they have, kids doing just like the horrible music that are selling it, a ton on iTunes, and it's like, and that's
also some
really fame.
I think that the biggest challenge is, how do you know what's good and what's bad? And I think, if you want my psychic prediction, I think there are going to be a new era of DJ type guys and gals who people you're gonna trust and go, oh, this guy has sifted through all the crap and he's giving me the good stuff. It's gonna get back to that, because it's just too overwhelming for most people. I mean, you can go on Spotify and they'll kind of suggest things for you, but when somebody's in the know and they know what they're talking about and they're so passionate about this, or you got to hear this song, it's going to get back to that. And mark my words, you're going to have somebody who's going to, or it's not going to be one person. It's going to be, you're going to have your favorite DJ or whoever it is, TV talk show host, is going to be like, and there were a lot of guys that, like you think about Johnny Carson, he'd give breaks to a lot of jazz artists that, that you would never hear before, and a lot of them would never get a break if it weren't for him.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think it's going to get back to that, back to a situation where you're going to have guys and gals who have sifted through the crap and are going to give you the gold.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
It's up to you, Donna. You got to do it.
And then we're going to add that to your superpower, psychic music. Okay.
That's not a superpower. That's, the superpower is like if your vision, you can see through. Superpower is being able to fly. As having superhuman strength, being able to jump 700 feet straight up in the air. But a psychic, none of those guys were psychics. None of those. Wonder Woman wasn't a psychic.
Well, didn't someone have what they kind of knew? They would kind of be like, Bionic. Wasn't it the Bionic Man? Who
I
knew?
think, well, I think Bionic Man was, uh, he had like body parts that were put on that were.
These were given to him. All right, how about this one? Action or a chick flick?
I don't like either one of
You like chick
those. I'm
flicks?
not even
Nothing
kidding.
romantic?
There are some like I thought that Heat with Sandra Bullock and was her name Melissa McCarthy. I thought that was hilarious. Bridesmaids, I thought was really funny. I do like that stuff. I thought that like as far as the action movies, I did like the very first couple of Mad Max movies with Mel Gibson. I
Right?
did like, but I guess chick flick would probably be over action just because all the shoot 'em up stuff.
Yeah, it's too much for me.
It's too much noise.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think I know the answer to this one. Book or TV?
A book.
1 a.m. or 1 p.m.?
You know, 1 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
City
mean,
or country?
1 p.m. is it's nice, but 1 a.m. is.
What is the magic?
No.
City or country?
City. I love. When I was up hanging out in New York, I thought it was just so great. And when my dad lived in Hoboken, it was
Mm,
great to walk out and have the local bakery, go out and get a cup of coffee, go walk down the street and to the restaurants, and you walk out and people are bustling around and hustling around. I found that really kind of cool. I mean, keep in mind, my dad also did have a place on top of a mountain that that there was nobody around, and I enjoyed that too. But it's nice. It's nice to be in a city where you can just kind of, especially like a city, like in a downtown area where you can walk to the grocery store, you can walk to the bakery, you can walk to the bar, walk to the restaurant, walk to the club, walk back. That's kind of cool. If I
absolutely.
had to
Absolutely.
choose, I guess it'd be city. In the city.
Woo! Okay, I hope you have one of these. What is your favorite cartoon?
Cartoon. Um, you know, Bugs Bunny. I thought was hilarious. I still do. I don't know how they came up with that. It's like so like just that he was such a wise guy.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right, right.
You know, yeah, Bugs Bunny.
All right.
Does anybody remember Bugs Bunny?
I don't know if the kids do, but us folks, we remember Bugs
Yeah,
Bunny every Saturday.
yeah, but even if kids don't know Bugs Bunny, it's somebody they should know. You know
Right.
what I mean? I remember when I was working with some TV people, and they were asking me, what my television, my cooking television show was going to be about, and I said it's kind of like Anthony Bourdain meets Dean Martin, and they were like, "Don't mention Dean Martin." I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Because it dates you. It makes you seem old." And I always thought, well, like when I was 6 years old, I was in love with Louis Armstrong. I didn't care if he was old or young or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If anybody gets turned on to Dean Martin because I say something about it, or gets turned on to Louis Armstrong, like if you're 8 or if you're 80, I mean, what difference does that make?
Right.
So yeah,
That's too bad. Well, I hope you mentioned Dean Martin. It's important. New York or LA?
New York, New York. Yeah, the thing I like about it is that it's a vertical town. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's a
Uh-huh.
vertical town. LA is a horizontal town, and I've been out here for a long time, and to get around, it's it's
Kind of a
difficult.
nightmare.
New York, like everything's like jam packed into this little teeny little island, And I like I like that. I like having things that are kind of compacted. You can just kind of walk down the street. LA is just it's everywhere. I used to like downtown LA, with all the and it's cool that they're well, starting to kind of do things down there. But
Yeah.
yeah, New York.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
Favorite instrument?
Oh, the bagpipes, of course, Donna. You know I love the bagpipes.
I
It's a
know, I
beautiful
can tell.
instrument. It's a sweet tone. Um, the piano, just because it has, on the piano you have 88 keys. You've got the highest of the high, and you've got the lowest of the low, and it's all right there. You know what I mean? With the guitar, you're kind of limited with your range of notes, but with the piano, everything is right there, and it's a very difficult instrument to play.
Mm, nice.
Because in guitar you have your strumming hand, and this is the hand that's doing all the. But with piano, you know what I mean? It's like you got 10 fingers, and they all got to go somewhere. It's a
Right.
little bit more complicated and a little tougher to do.
Well, you're wonderful on the piano, so I'll take that. Are you an optimist, a realist, an idealist, or a pessimist?
I'm a pessimistic optimist. I do like to look on the bright side. I do. You know, so I just have to choose optimist.
Optimist. There you go. Oh, here's a good one. Back massage or foot massage?
Back massage. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Stilettos or flats?
What?
Stilettos or flats?
Stilettos or flats? I like to wear flats. I find it very difficult to walk in stilettos. I mean, I've tried. It's just it's
Uh,
tough for me. I got to say it. And plus, it's a little tough on the posture.
right, right.
Walking down the street, little heel gets stuck in one of those things on the sidewalk. It doesn't happen with flats.
Yes. Sun or the moon?
Um, you know, um, the uh, the sun.
Oh, nice.
Just because you think about it, the sun, the whole universe revolves around it, yet it can still ripen the grapes on the vine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Love the sun. Love,
Yeah.
love the sun. That's why I'm in Arizona.
You know, sitting out in the sun. I've never been a guy to sit out in the sun, but it does help the fruits to grow.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. First love, and that can be anything.
The first love was music. It really was. I mean, the first thing I remember doing was listening to music, and I wanted to write down the words to songs that I love. So
Mm.
yeah, music was the first thing that I fell in love with, and we got married, and we've been married ever since.
Right on. You know what? It's a happy union, that's for sure. All right, I've got my last question for you. What keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night? Oh, it's it's very difficult not to worry. I
Hmm.
find it difficult not to worry. You know what I mean? Like people like my mom, she was a peaceful woman. She had that kind of
Hmm.
inner kind of calm that, but everybody, most people I know, they're worried. They're worried about because it's an uncertain world. It's not like there's so much there are so many things going on that are are worrisome. It's hard to shut that out. It's hard to shut out the world, and it's hard, with all the crazy things that are going on with droughts and famines and diseases and people cutting each other's heads off, and it's just like it's. And I think a lot of it has to do with we're all hooked into everything. You can't get up in the morning and check your email without seeing all these images and getting all this news about everything that people didn't have that before.
Right.
People didn't wake up in the morning, and walk out of their cave and say, I wonder what's going on over in Afghanistan. It didn't happen. But because we have so much information now, and I think that a lot of it does feed on people's worry. I think that it does. I mean, there's a lot to worry about. You know what I mean? You read an article, and about the world's gonna, the whole financial system's gonna collapse in 6 months. I'm worried about Bruce Jenner, whether he's going to be a man or a woman. I mean, these are things that I wake up at night and I worry about. Is Kim Kardashian and Kanye, are they going to make it? You know what I mean? Right. Beyonce and Jay-Z, I worry about them. It's a lot to worry about out here.
Taylor Swift, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So much out there.
Is she going to find true love? I don't know.
Right. Or is he going to be crazy?
What?
I said, or is he going to be crazy?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have to worry about that.
So does your music help with that? As far as keeping you grounded, it's your first love. There's this wonderful...
No, it's... I'll say this. That when I'm sitting at the piano, or I'm playing guitar, or I am on stage doing a show, everything goes away. I don't worry about a thing. It's something that that generates that peaceful, easy feeling. So yeah, like when I'm playing music, that's probably the most peaceful that I get. It's just, it's nice to, sit down and play a song, and if you have like 4 or 5 people that are enjoying it too, that's peace.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. I love it. Slim Man, I gotta say, it was so nice to talk to you and to listen to your questions or your answers from these just varied questions, and to hear your passion and to feel your passion, to just that whole energy. I love your answer to your favorite color.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever heard anyone express that like that with so much. I mean, just that whole passion. I'm like feeling you with the whole lemons and and I know everything that's yellow to me is going to kind of always take me up. Yeah, I'm like, man, that's Slim Man. There goes something yellow. That's awesome. It's your music and just hearing you. And for me, honestly, the reason why I wanted to do a show like this was just to learn about people and just, I love my music, my jazz, but I'm a bit of a voyeur, and I wanted to know just like, what do you think about just on a daily basis? That kind of stuff, that's what keeps me up at night. I wonder about people and how they're doing and what they're thinking and all those little things. So that's the 5+ minutes with Donna, and I have a lot of fun. You have been just a delightful treat tonight, and I just kind of have a little bit of goosebumps here listening to you and just hearing your passion. I'm so excited for you. Your cookbook is coming out. When do we get to hear, when is that being released so that folks can get that?
The cookbook is really taking a lot longer than I thought it would, just because I really don't know what is going on. But let me hit this decline thing. So, can you hear that?
Yep. All right, all good.
So what was the question again? I'm sorry, I forgot to turn.
No, I was just saying your cookbook. And
the cookbook.
Take a little bit longer.
it's taken a lot more time. I'm finding out things about cookbooks that I never knew. You know, in order you have to listen to you have to list the ingredients in the order of use. You know, is kosher capitalized or not? You know,
Right.
foreign words. You know, are they italicized, put in quotes? When you have a song title, how do you do that? A CD title, how do you do that? Just finding out all these things that, and it's been a real learning experience, and I love to learn. I always have loved to learn. It's just taking a little more time, which doesn't bother me. I mean, there's no real deadline. But the other thing about working on a cookbook or doing that kind of thing is that music is a collaborative thing. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're making music, you're usually with a couple of other people. It's when you're working on writing a cookbook, it's just you in a library on a computer. You know what I mean? It's not like you can sit there and and play a guitar. It's not the same kind of work. It's a different kind of work, and making music has always been so much fun for me. You know, whether you're good at it or you're bad at it, whatever you do and you love what you do, if you're not the greatest basketball player in the world, but you love to play basketball, go play basketball. You know what I mean? You don't have to be the greatest. You know, no matter what you're doing, if you just love what you're doing, you don't have to be the best as long as you love it. You know, so making music has always been to me like it's a collaborative thing. Like when I do a lot of work with Mark Antoine. He plays guitar, and he's a producer, and he's a writer and arranger, and it's great to go. You know, but if you're working on a cookbook, it's just you alone in a room trying to figure out semicolon, comma. You know what I mean? It's different. It's different. But when you're making music, it's a joy. The cookbook has been a really great learning experience. You know, and it's taken a little bit longer, and I hope to have it out July, August. I was hoping for the spring, but now it's looking like the summer, which is not bad.
You know what? When it's ready, and
Yeah.
that's what it is, folks. So we'll definitely. But in the meantime, I know you do some music here and there. Anything coming up anytime soon?
You know, people can check out the slimman.com website. It's got a list of all my concerts. I've got some really cool stuff coming up that I'm really excited about. And there are some festivals that I'm doing. There are some clubs that I'm doing. There are some really cool house parties that I'm doing. I mean, it's just it's the gamut from playing, to thousands of people to doing a small jazz club and playing for 60 people. It's just the
Yes.
wide range of experiences, which is all fine with me. You know, I like
Yeah.
it all. I mean, I play music just about anywhere. I played in zoos, I played in aquariums, I played on trains. You know what I mean? I've played shows everywhere. So if people want to see where the shows are, they can go to the shows section in the slimman.com website.
Lemon.com. And I have to encourage everyone, please sign up for his newsletter. It is the funniest thing that I read on Tuesday mornings, and you have the best sense of humor.
Thank
And
you.
it's just wonderful. So can we go to your website also to sign up there for your
Yeah,
newsletter?
people do give me such great responses from the newsletter because they're all just kind of funny and lighthearted to look at the world. And so if they want to sign up for the newsletter, they can do it at slimman.com.
Right on.
And they can also see new newsletters there too. So if you want to take a look at the archives, they're there.
There you go. Lots of cool things on slimman.com. Lots of great things. Slim Man, can you take us out with some music?
When the moon hits you out like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the stars seem to shine like you have too much wine, that's amore.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Woo! Awesome. Slim Man, thank you so much.
Donna, you are a sweetheart. You know I love you, darling.
Love you too. It's always fun having you on, whether it's this show now or, of course, The Color of Jazz, which we'll get that going again. And folks, please, www.slimman.com. Definitely check out Sweet 16 plus the bonus. Check that out, and you can get that on his website. Look, I have mine, and it is signed. Hey, will you
Yeah,
sign it, folks? Will you sign it for folks so they go ahead and get it?
I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I can.
Woo! Folks, get that. Slim Man, thank you so much.
All right, I'll call you later.
Please do. Good night.
Night.
Good night, everyone. I'm Donna Whittington. Of course, 5 Minutes with Donna, my show that I just love to hang out with the artists. So definitely check the archives, and you can see all the past ones as well. Good night, everyone.